And to the rest of you, the non-believers, the underachievers, the tweet and deleters, you guys make me sick to my stomachs, fam. Honestly, if you guys want to look in my eyes, you guys want to do something? You guys, that's what I thought. No, that's what I thought.
Among all the poor decisions Drake has made during this period, when he has undoubtedly cemented himself as the most humiliating rapper to date, one of the most absurd and unnecessary missteps occurred when he attempted to portray himself as a victim. He not only attacked Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us track and its label through a globally ridiculed lawsuit, but also dragged streamers and content creators into the fray, alleging that they conspired to end his career. He accused them of promoting the narrative by striking deals with labels that allowed them to react to Not Like Us without facing restrictions. Drake's decision to go after Kendrick Lamar's music and involve online creators has created one of the most baffling controversies in his career. His claim suggested a coordinated effort between creators and labels to undermine him. However, the allegations quickly unraveled, with creators and fans alike exposing flaws in his argument. These actions not only tarnished Drake's reputation, but also strained his relationships with some of the most influential names in hip-hop and online culture. Drake's previous ability to dominate the narrative surrounding his music has now backfired, as he underestimated the power of creators to defend their integrity. This era, where creators have fostered deeper connections with audiences than most entertainers, has placed immense power in the hands of online personalities. Drake's alienation of this group has further tarnished his standing. Previously, these creators have been instrumental in amplifying his music, even when it was seen as average or below par. Losing their support is perhaps one of the most damaging blows to his career to date. Before delving deeper into the severity of this fallout and the exposure Drake has faced, it's crucial to acknowledge how this controversy has unfolded. When considering the poor choices Drake has made during this tumultuous time, where it feels as though he's deliberately sabotaging everything he's ever achieved, his narrative that streamers and reactors were inherently against him stands out as particularly reckless. This move, careless to the extreme, surpasses many of his other infamous errors. Drake didn't just alienate creators who engaged directly with audiences. He blatantly fabricated accusations in a lawsuit of this scale. This moment has become a pivotal misstep, further eroding his reputation. It underscores his history of fabricating narratives or promoting ideas, counting on people to accept them uncritically. However, when this claim was broadcast to the world, it took only hours for people to respond, not just rebutting Drake's statements, but outright disproving them as falsehoods. This swift response demonstrates how disconnected Drake has become from the very audience that once championed his work. Streamers and reactors were not privy to any plans to review or engage with Not Like Us in the manner Drake alleged. More damningly, while Drake accused these creators of being granted free reign to interact with Kendrick's music, it was revealed that he benefited from the same tactics with his own diss tracks, like push-ups. This revelation exposed Drake's hypocrisy. He remained silent when he personally gained from the strategies he now condemns. This double standard has left fans and creators questioning the authenticity of his grievances. At this point, Drake's complaints about everything, paired with evidence that he leveraged the same mechanisms he accuses Kendrick of exploiting, suggest his grievances with Kendrick's alleged advantages are baseless. It almost feels like Drake is inadvertently admitting to the methods he has long relied on to maintain his position in the industry. Even as public interest in his new music continued to dwindle over time, fans have begun to recognize this pattern of behavior, and their patience has worn thin. After Drake's initial falsehoods about the narrative he tried to construct were thoroughly debunked, he made another critical error involving specific individuals in his lawsuit. Names like Kai Cenat were directly implicated in Drake's claims. However, the evidence predating this drama shows that Drake wasn't merely acquainted with Kai, he strategically used their relationship to sway the conflict in his favor. By maintaining a friendship with one of the largest streamers, Drake attempted to secure Kai's bias. We all witnessed this manipulation unfold when Drake persuaded Kai to remain on stream. Simultaneously, Kendrick was gaining favor, even among individuals previously aligned with Drake, by simply producing superior diss tracks. While Kai's response was relatively measured, other creators and streamers responded much more harshly, collectively dismantling Drake's falsehoods. These reactions illuminated Drake's apparent disregard for others, as he attempted to rewrite history to serve his agenda without accounting for public scrutiny. The backlash escalated rapidly. Critics pointed out that Drake selectively targeted certain reactors in his claims, aligning these accusations with questionable narratives he seemed intent on pushing. Meanwhile, numerous creators released their own diss tracks aimed at Drake, presenting a more coherent narrative than Drake himself ever managed in his own music. These reactions, paired with the additional context surrounding Drake's accusations, have unequivocally showcased one of his most catastrophic missteps yet. Drake has now entangled himself in a situation that extends beyond his feud with Kendrick or issues with his label. He has implicated himself with countless creators who maintain direct connections with fans. The result? His credibility among the community is irreparably damaged. Once held up by creators and fans who helped sustain his career, Drake has effectively severed those ties. Drake was well aware of the value of these relationships. Historically, he maintained connections with figures like Kai Cenat and DJ Academics to ensure his music was hyped. For years, this strategy enabled him to transform lackluster releases into cultural moments. However, as Kendrick's music set a new benchmark for excellence and creators moved away from endorsing mediocrity, Drake's failure to adapt has proven to be his greatest downfall. In a time where content creators rival or surpass the influence of many artists, Drake's decision to alienate these key figures by questioning their integrity has backfired spectacularly. Only a few creators, such as Aiden Ross, remain in Drake's corner, a reflection of his narrowing alliances. Regardless of the narratives he attempts to spin, it's evident that creators and audiences have shifted their loyalty towards Kendrick Lamar, whose artistry resonates far more deeply. Drake has now not only lost the support of his label due to his handling of this feud, but also the respect of his peers. By demonstrating an antagonistic stance toward hip-hop's principles, he has isolated himself further. With the loss of community trust and his foundational relationships, the very structures that sustained his career have crumbled. Drake's inability to recognize the cultural shift within hip-hop and his underestimation of creators' influence have compounded his troubles. Kendrick Lamar's music represents a shift toward authenticity and innovation, raising the bar for what audiences expect. By contrast, Drake's recent work has been criticized for its lack of originality and depth. This contrast has only amplified the criticism against him. From his declining public image to the diminishing quality of his music, Drake's trajectory appears increasingly bleak. As his influence in the music industry continues to fade, his prospects only grow dimmer. The feud with Kendrick Lamar has highlighted the growing divide between Drake and his audience. Kendrick's ability to resonate with fans and creators alike underscores Drake's inability to evolve with the changing landscape of hip-hop. Moreover, the growing popularity of independent artists and the rise of platforms like YouTube and Twitch have shifted the balance of power. Creators now have a direct line to their audiences, bypassing traditional gatekeepers in the music industry. This shift has empowered creators to shape narratives and influence public opinion. By alienating these creators, Drake has lost a vital source of support and credibility. The damage to Drake's reputation extends beyond his music. His public persona has also taken a hit. Fans and critics alike have noted his increasingly defensive and combative behavior. Instead of addressing the criticism with humility or introspection, Drake has doubled down on his accusations and attempts to control the narrative. This approach has only fueled the backlash against him. Drake's actions have also raised questions about the role of accountability in the music industry. As a prominent figure, Drake's influence extends beyond his music. His behavior sets a precedent for how artists interact with their fans, peers, and critics. By refusing to take responsibility for his actions and deflecting blame onto others, Drake has set a poor example for aspiring artists and creators. Despite the challenges he faces, Drake still has an opportunity to rebuild his reputation. To do so, he must acknowledge his mistakes and make amends with the creators and fans he has alienated. This process will require humility, introspection, and a willingness to evolve as an artist and public figure. By embracing change and addressing the criticism head-on, Drake can begin to rebuild trust and credibility. Ultimately, Drake's downfall serves as a cautionary tale for artists and creators. It highlights the importance of authenticity, accountability, and adaptability in a rapidly changing cultural landscape. As audiences become more discerning and creators gain more influence, the traditional power dynamics of the music industry are being upended. Artists who fail to adapt to these changes risk losing their relevance and credibility. Drake's decision to target reactors and creators has had far-reaching consequences. By alienating key figures in the industry and undermining his credibility, Drake has jeopardized his career and tarnished his legacy. As he navigates this challenging period, the lessons from his mistakes will shape the future of his career and the broader music industry. Let us know what you think about Drake's decision to target reactors, what this reveals about his character, and your thoughts on the responses he's received. Share your insights.
Beats.